Hello all, Rishi here. Welcome to the HTML series tutorial. In this episode, we are going to see how the web actually works in real time. This is a presentation video. In this, we are going to explain that some of the terminologies such as client, server, and the DNS server. If you have not seen any of my previous videos, I have linked all those videos in my description. You can go and watch it there, or else you can click on the info cards that is appearing over the video. Now let's get started. Before we get into the concept, we have to look into the steps for loading a web page first. In the first step, we need to connect to the internet. Only then we can retrieve the web page from the server. In the second step, we have to enter the unique URL for the web page through the browser. And the third step, the browser will retrieve the particular web page that you have given as the input to the browser from the web server. If you see here, the desktop or PC you're using to load the web page, that is called as client. And the place where the web page resides is called as server. When you enter the URL of the web page and click on enter key, the client will request the server for that corresponding web page. The server will respond back to the client with the requested HTML web page. If the requested HTML web page is not present in the server, it will return an error. So far we have seen the big picture of the client-server architecture. Now we are going to see the same process in a much more detailed manner. This time we are having an additional component along with the client and server, which is called as DNS server, which is abbreviated to domain name system. DNS server is like a translator, which translates the alphanumeric URL to the IP address. The alphanumeric URL can be understood only by the humans and not by the machines. So in this case, we need to introduce this translator to make the machine to understand the URL into the IP address. So when you enter the URL in the browser window, the client will request the DNS server with the entered URL. The DNS server will then convert the URL into the IP address and sends back to the client. Then the client sends a HTTP request to the server using the IP address. The HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which is like a language between two machines where the client requests for a particular web page from the server and the server responds back by giving the web page to the client. When the requested web page from the client is found in the server responds back with a status code of 200 OK to the client along with the web page. And if the requested web page is not found, the server will return as 404 not found status code as a response, and it won't be sending any HTML pages as it is not found in the server. If you see here, there are some of the HTTP status codes available. We have already seen this 200 OK. This will be sent when the HTTP requests are successfully processed. Similar to this, there is 204 no content. This will be sent when the request has been processed successfully, but there is no content to be sent from the server to this client side. If you see the status code for the errors in the client side, the status code will be starting with 400. The 400 bad request will be sent when the server cannot process the request due to some of the errors in the request. If you see the 401 unauthorized, this will be shown when a particular resource in the server cannot be accessed without any authentication. Like if the user is not logged into the web page, then the resource that has been accessed will not be sent. The next one is the 404 not found. This will be sent when the requested resource is not present in the server. And that is all for today's video. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel and share this video to your friends. Thank you.